right, guys. Well, what's up? Welcome to our first episode of the Morning Madness podcast. I'm your host, TJ. On my left.
It's your boy, Carlos.
And
sitting on the other side of the table, it's your boy, Victory.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what this podcast really is about, this is just gives us an opportunity to basically talk about all of our nerdy passions that we have in life and just in general talk about pop culture as a whole, though, too. So I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited to be working with these two great gentlemen, both on my sides. So other than that, let's just jump right into it. Mm-hmm. So topic of discussion. So I really got to, all those late nights on TikTok and whatnot. Found this page called Full Squad Gaming. Shout out to them. It's called There's Your Plug. Okay. And it's these bunch of guys who are making like museum glass cases for video games, right? And so they're having basically this Hall of Fame. And so we have a list of all the games that they have so far, and some of the choices I will say are definitely ones I agree with, and then there's some I'm like, maybe not,
Right.
And so that's basically what we're going to talk about today. So we won't say we'll say the names as we go, but overall of a list, what were you guys rated from like 1 to 10?
So from the bits that you've shown me and the bits that I've seen, you can tell that they're very hype driven, and the games that they've chosen are very, it pleases the vocal minority, or the people who really, really like it, but not quite the people who like gaming. Because I've seen a lot of the ones they've thrown up there that have not quite.
It's a little. There's some that are like pretty niche, and others that just like, I don't know, they're great for consumers, but as far as like gaming community goes, I'm like, there's so many others.
So the list we have here, right? I can just list it off in list order, right? It's Skyrim, Minecraft, Wii Sports, Red Dead Redemption 2, Halo 3, GTA 5, Clash of Clans, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Skylanders, Mario Kart for the Wii and the Nintendo 64, NCAA Football 14, and Skate 3.
Yeah, and so let's rewind back and let's go talk about that first one, Skyrim. That's one I feel like we can all agree on. 110% that needs to be in there.
It deserves its spot without a doubt. Now, that being said, I won't argue with you. It's not a good game.
It's not.
But it's
what do you mean it's not a good? What do you mean it's not a good game, man? It has so much variety for that time period, though,
it's
too.
It's the Bethesda classic where it's an unfinished game that you need mods to finish.
Yeah. But as a community of gamers and stuff, doesn't that make that your game just a little bit more personal and stuff like that?
Not when you do it for every game.
It's here's the thing. My favorite thing was on that Bethesda forum when they were like, is it a bug or is it a feature? And they said yes.
What?
Yeah.
There's no way. Is that what they actually said? I didn't know about that.
Bethesda is that, they got some straight bangers with Skyrim and Fallout 4, but the problem is that no matter how engaging your story is, if it looks like shit, there's only so much you can do to make it worth it. So the mods and everything, it brings the community together, but it's just objectively not that great looking game. Then again, for the time period, it does make sense, considering that, what year was that?
That was like 2000, right? 2010, 2008, somewhere between 2008 and 2010. And I should have wrote dates down, but whatever. But I think overall, it's going to be like one of those games where even like well into our old lives and whatnot, there's still going to be people playing this game. Old, new, young.
That is fair. I will say Skyrim is like the one game that I've taught, like the most women I've talked to who play games, that is like their big, like, addicting game. Like, they've played it forever.
Definitely. And to be quite honest, I haven't even finished it yet.
That and obviously like the classics, The Sims.
Silly soul.
So the next one is Minecraft, which I'm conflicted about.
No,
it's no uncontested top spot.
Minecraft will always deserve a spot in the Hall of Fame. And here's the thing. So I stopped playing Minecraft a long time ago just because I don't have a lot of patience for that kind of gameplay.
Yeah.
But I can still appreciate it, and I still love watching people play Minecraft because it's just so like relaxing, so soothing, and just the idea behind it of just creating your own world in such a vivid and imaginative way of being so like low poly and low res. It's just it's so cool. And like when it came out, I remember when people were like, "Oh, it's cringe," you know. I don't even know if they.
I feel like it took it a couple. It took it a couple years to become cringe.
So
yeah,
until
PewDiePie, you know, brought it
essentially.
back.
I will say that it's an infinite game in the way that 100%. You can enjoy it over and over again. Like I'm just now doing a thing where I'll play. I tried streaming it once, probably not again, but where it's VR Minecraft with shaders, and it's like I'm living in a whole nother world. Like it is phenomenal, and the game's still fresh, even though I'm doing the same thing I've done 100 times over.
Here's the thing, though, too, that I have a question about. With this whole pandemic thing going on, did the pandemic, or did everyone being in quarantine correlate to everyone like kind of like Minecraft making its comeback?
Oh, without a doubt. 100%. Yeah, the nostalgia definitely came back.
Okay.
It's the same reason we went back to Among Us, and it's the same reason we went back to like
Among Us.
I went back and played Wizard 101. No, it was an old game.
Among Us came out a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm. No fucking
It's an old game that reboomed into popularity. More popular than
That's
ever.
really weird.
That brought it back. That like brought attention to it, but it was a streamer.
Mostly it was. I want to say it's. I swear, was it Soda Poppin' or one of the big ones did it first, and then obviously thanks to like offline TV and Corpse and all them for bringing it into
Same with Fall Guys.
Popularity.
Fall Guys was an older game.
I'm very upset that Fall Guys flopped so quickly because that was a game I could have sat and played for quite some time.
Fall Guys is one of those games that has like a really good like party game premise.
They needed a custom map maker.
They did, and they needed more variety. You know, and I'll even say, like, just to kind of veer off topic, like, they tried to do the whole skin thing in Fall Guys, but the thing is, it wasn't attractive enough to bring people into it, and that's the one thing, you know, Fortnite cringe, but God, when it comes
Fortnite
to marketing,
has titties, man, and that's that'll market to everybody.
Yeah. I almost downloaded Fortnite when they dropped those Terminator skins. Like, that's the thing, they know how to get people into it.
Well,
with cool stuff.
It's it's weird though too because that's like as gamers, let's all admit for like a quick like there was a time where Fortnite was definitely on the decline where like nothing was going on, it wasn't as big.
Right.
But now within like this last year and a half, with all these, first of all, they have so much money to even acquire the rights to these skins. You have the Halo one, Kratos.
Dude, DC and Marvel?
Exactly. You know, and even to exclusive title games from like Xbox, like the Lara Croft recently.
Yeah, that one's super exciting.
And Chun-Li, even what's it called, like just the licensing in general for those ones are that's so much money, and like these are from franchises that are like they're not like they're not like new. These are like old, and these are like refurbished like companies or renowned companies, I would rather say. But like for them to still like put in the money is like really freaking impressive.
Well, and considering that like the actual like people always forget that Fortnite always started like not as the battle royale. Like Fortnite
it was
a PvE. Wasn't like a PvE sort of thing. Who plays the PvE now?
I played the beta because that's what it was originally going to be.
Yeah,
it was a zombie survival with building, and it was so cool when it came out because we saw these YouTubers who were like pushing it. We were like, it's going to be so interesting, and then battle royale happened. We're like, this is so left field, but we're like, okay.
I've never understood why people like always take a giant dump on Fortnite. Like it's so easy to. It is. Yeah. I understand it's the fan base, but honestly, like gameplay wise, it's not that bad. Like I see my roommates play it, and I'm like,
I see. I'm gonna disagree with you on there because I've played a lot of battle royales. I've played Black Ops 4, Apex, Fortnite 2.
Black Ops 4.
Yeah, Black Ops 4 should never been.
We don't talk about.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Blackout was awful.
Yeah. But for Fortnite in that game, your aim could be godly. Like your aim could be really, really good, and you can get But if you do not know how to build, you're fucked. See,
I was one of the first people to learn how to build, so to me it was just
like
and it's like
speedrunners.
Yeah.
But if you here's the thing that I don't like about Fortnite: if you switch that around, if you're really good at building, but you got shit aim, you can still win.
Well, yeah. I have tons of footage before I vaulted everything of us playing Fortnite in the first 4 seasons.
Yeah.
and you'll see nobody builds. There's like a scene where I just cover the entire entryway to like a mountain with walls as an escape method. Nobody knows what to do. Like it was so beautiful back then because everybody was stupid, and now everybody's a genius.
Yeah.
Well, man, I hate the fact that like the fan base of Fortnite, it's all these kids who spend nothing but it's like the new I want to be famous but through this lane sort of thing. Like, and I know, and I've had a family member tell me that they know some people who are like, they're kind of banking on getting really good at Fortnite and becoming a pro through there. And I'm like,
can't you say the same thing about Overwatch?
Yes, but that's okay. So the difference between, I feel like, if you guys don't know, we're all esports players here. We all play a game called Overwatch. The difference between that and people who are just like, they have no resources whatsoever to get exposed unless they put in a significant time and effort and money into it.
It doesn't matter what part of gaming you want to go into. To be popular on there is work.
Yeah.
Like even podcast and YouTube and Twitch, which I've been doing for 8 years collectively. It's such a nightmare, but you got to keep pushing. So I get it. Like I knew plenty of kids who were like, "Oh, this is gonna be it. This is my thing. I'm gonna be the next Booga. I'm gonna make $3 million playing Fortnite." It's like I don't know about that. It's like to do the thing they told us when we were doing career searches in elementary school. It's like make sure you have a backup. It's a very competitive industry, is what they used to say.
Definitely, but like it makes sense. It makes sense, say for us on how we can get pro because we have the resources. We have the resources to send VODs and stuff like that, and really capture our moments, and be affiliated with an official team rather than some person on the outside. Which I'm not saying there's anything bad from being on the outside of it. We just have more resources as it is to succeed with it if we wanted to go on that. But we're gonna move on real quick.
We can all agree that Minecraft deserves it.
Without a doubt.
They're very.
But then we can talk about Wii Sports real quick because there's not too much to talk about.
Right. This is.
I say yes, dude.
This deserves it.
I really do think this. I really do think this. This
Wii Sports is great.
Bowling was.
Wii Sports Resort.
Golf in there was the most chill thing in that game.
Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead.
And so. We can agree on that. Now this
Red Dead 2.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2.
See, I haven't played enough of this just yet.
See,
I'm on the opening tutorial.
Yeah, and I'm not saying, and I haven't played it personally. I have an Xbox, but visually, and I've seen a lot of gamers on YouTube play it, and it's probably way different. It is a beautiful fucking game with so many opportunities to be engaged with the environment, gameplay wise, campaign. There's a lot of things with this game that it does right. And I think overall, Rockstar, when it comes to open world games and stuff, they own the market.
Yeah, and that's going back to Skyrim. It's like Skyrim kind of paved the way for a lot of the open world stuff that we have.
Definitely.
But at the same time, so did Rockstar. I mean, it even goes down the list. I'm going to skip over Halo 3 real quick just to talk about GTA 5.
Yeah.
Because GTA 5, they haven't made GTA 6. Well, I don't know what they're doing, but GTA 6 hasn't come out yet. But
GTA
even still,
GTA
10
years old.
It's 10 years old. It's been across all these different console generations. And it still reigns supreme. Nothing tops it.
There's got to at least be, I wouldn't be surprised, and this is just an estimate, if there's over 80 plus DLCs that have come out. It's not, maybe not 80, but there's a good...
It's not even the DLC that makes it so popular. It's the fan creation that makes it... They added the creator studio, and that's what gave the game longevity. Custom races, custom games, and even then, I think you have to use creator studio to do GTA RP as well. So it's they've just...
haircut.
Yeah. Having an amazing campaign with great voice acting and motion capture is a big deal. So they nailed it in that aspect.
What kind of monster do you think I am? You didn't kill him. But I did kidnap his wife!
I loved that.
Dude, I've only been really playing GTA for about 4 or 5 months now, and I can see the hype behind it though. It's like the heist and everything, the amount of multiplayer what's the word? The amount of multiplayer opportunities though too, and just in general, the game is great. But yeah.
Halo 3.
Yeah, Halo 3.
Okay,
Halo 3.
so this is one where I feel like we all disagree.
Halo 2 or Reach should have got it over 3.
I
Yeah.
think Reach overall should have gotten it.
Reach is awesome, but like if you want to go for like
See,
a
but the thing
quintessential
is-
classic Halo, it's Halo 2. Like
yeah, I didn't play 3, so I played 2, then
Yeah.
4. So
Don't talk. We don't talk
Okay.
about 5.
Okay,
no one
so-
should talk about 5. You should
Hey,
not care
hey,
about
hey,
go
hey.
about 5.
5 gets a lot of hate. I enjoyed
no,
5. Like
it was
it's
not good.
it's not like the best, but it's still cool. Here's the thing: I will take Halo in any form because it's just the coolest shit
Really?
ever. I don't care. I'm the kind of guy that's like, if I see MasterChef, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Right.
I love Halo because it's just so cool. And
So when he gets added to Smash, you're gonna lose your shit. Right?
yes, yeah.
Speaking of which, why isn't fighting game on this list?
And no, that's a thing that we can talk about
Because-
later. That's,
because
there's not
Clash of
there's
Clans.
yeah.
This one is like the main thing that upsets me. This
This
is the one of
pisses
the
me
3
off.
that upset me a lot.
Yeah.
And Clash of Clans is a mobile game for starters, and it's not even the best mobile game.
No, definitely not.
If you're gonna
Definitely
talk about the best mobile game, you're gonna talk about
this
sponsoring this
no. I am
hold on,
not getting
actually,
copyrighted.
I do this for a lot of my videos actually, and this is a little peek behind the curtain. I will actually film a section of the video where I pop in a sponsor, and then I will take that video and send it to the company and see if they take it.
What
So
the hell?
So far, nobody has taken it, but this time we'll see.
Rage
three of
And
us.
if, and if
We're all
not,
diverse.
And if not, there was just a cut here to jump to that.
Yeah. No, but if you're gonna talk about mobile games, like go with something like you said, Angry Birds, Jetpack Joyride,
Flappy Bird or
Flappy
Temple
Bird.
Run.
Well, Temple Run.
Dude,
Flappy
I s-
Bird died.
Or Candy Crush. Candy Crush, specifically. That one's been around for ages. It got
Yeah.
in the emoji.
I say what's going. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
It has to be a toss up between Angry Birds and Flappy Bird. It's got to be one
Flappy
of those
Bird
two.
caused someone to commit murder. You know how hard it is to be that good of an app that you commit murder?
I don't know, man. I assume what's good. I just feel like that first time, maybe just for me, like that was the first time where like you were part. Like it was just like this, not this movement, but like this trending
is when
thing that
trends
you saw for the
began,
first
like,
time
for
in your
free.
life up close, and you were a part of, and you're like, what the hell is this?
Before then, you could start little mini trends in your
Yeah.
Small community. After that, no. The internet dictated everything.
Well,
The internet dictates everything now.
but did you guys ever play Clash of Clans?
I never
I
played.
hate
Clash of
real-time
Clans.
strategy games.
Dude,
I,
no,
I hate the thing where it's like you have to look above the map and see what's going
That's
on. That
real-time
just pisses
strategy.
me off in the first second.
So
I look
I had a lot of friends in high school that when this game first came out, they're like, oh, like everyone had to like add each other so that they can give each other energy and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, you should download this game. I'm like, no, that
I
sounds
did
like
play
a
StarCraft a little bit, though.
any game where I have to wait for shit, like oh, wait
Literally.
24 hours
I'm
so
so
you can get
impatient.
6 pieces of corn. I'm like, why do I have to wait a whole day? That doesn't
Well,
correlate to real
I
life.
don't
The
like
fuck.
how in the tutorial they kind of put it in your brain to use the gems.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
go,
yeah.
You have
"Here,
it's
spend
play
your-
it's
spend
play
your
to win,
limited
dude.
resource."
It's play to
Yeah.
win. Any mobile,
I
what's
hate
called
pay to
majority
win.
of all mobile games are pay to win. Let's just get
right.
that out of the way now.
That's why the only good Apple game, the only good App Store game I can give you that you only have to pay for once and you'll enjoy every time is probably Bloons Tower Defense 6.
Yeah.
So fuck you, Clash of Clans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next
Black
one.
Ops
It's
2.
this is the first. Although this list needs to be updated, but next one is Black Ops 2, which I feel like wholeheartedly from the campaign, multiplayer to zombies. All in all, this game deserves to be it.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Like it can be argued that Modern Warfare 2 should be there, but the thing is, Black Ops 2 really solidified modern Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I obviously I joined COD a little late because I had parents who weren't a big fan of mature shooter games or guns for that matter. Funnily enough, as a matter of fact, I have a video that I'm filming this weekend. I know I have a video I'm filming this weekend about that involves going to a shooting range. So I'm sure my parents will love to see that. But Black Ops 2, like it was the first one I actually like played, and like I played multiplayer and got in the lobbies and put the headset on, and my friend was like, "Why are you doing this? These are adults. They hate you." And I was like, "It's fine."
It's fine.
So
Don't
just
worry.
for that, alone, yeah. If they had a camera, it would have been over.
Whoa.
Okay, here's the next one that pisses me off on this list. It's fucking Skylanders.
This one,
Okay.
we sat
So,
here
like,
for
I
an
wa-
hour arguing.
Yeah,
about
and
this
I'm
one.
wondering like how like I want to like contact these guys and like why the fuck is this game on the Hall of Fame list? First of all, there's so like you have so many other options. Why is it this game? Is it because it has a toy on it?
Let
I don't
alone-
remember it doing that
Probably.
well.
They
But
love
think
the
about it,
little
right?
dragon.
Let alone out of the ones that are like Skylanders, Disney Infinity, and the one
Disney
other one,
Infinity, I feel like
Lego
shouldn't
Lego
even.
Creations.
I don't know, like any of those types of games cannot be on.
They
like,
were
this
cash
list.
grabs. They were for children.
100%.
This was just Yu-Gi-Oh in a other sense of
It's the equivalent
way.
of merchandising, right?
I think it's kind of like Clash of Clans in the sense that maybe it's just not a good game, but it definitely had an impact on our pop
They
culture.
pulled the original Fortnite, where they started grabbing characters from other stuff.
Yeah.
Like Skylanders got Spyro, then Crash Bandicoot.
Well, okay,
Well, here's the thing with say go back to Clash of Clans is that if there's one thing that you can say about that is that a lot of people played that game and a lot of people talk about it. I mean, just look at their advertising money that they put in for those commercials, and it's like it's not a cheap mobile game that they made. Like it definitely had an impact on people. It's not a good game.
I mean, Clash Royale is even better than Clash of Clans.
Yeah.
Like,
But like, here's the thing though too. We're on like. How is anyone going to be able to argue Skylanders was such an impactful game? Because we don't we don't have games like that like right now.
I haven't heard of anyone who plays Skylanders.
Exactly.
the only
I'm gonna text
part of
Silly Soul,
Skylanders
see, do you
that I
play
think
Skylanders?
of is Skyrim, right? She goes, yes, of course. This one of the best
Like the
games
fuck?
ever.
You guys not
I'm
play
writing-
it?
I'm writing
But no,
right
that
now.
game does not even deserve to
Collar.
be on the list. Now, the next one is going to be for the Mario Kart for both the Wii and the N64.
See,
I
this is
agree
a
with
toss-up.
half of this one.
Not the N64 version.
No,
I
because
don't think it. Like, obviously, it was the first game. But
this might a lot of people might get hate for this. The N64 is a horrible fucking console.
Oof.
And here's the reason
You have
why.
an office motion.
Look-
Look at the camera.
If you want to go like first of all, the controller. What the hell is that? Is that controller?
I actually really like it.
What, you like the whole 3-pronged dick you're holding in your hand?
Yeah, I do.
I don't. It's the most annoying thing. And how are you
know
gonna have
why?
all of that going on with the trigger in the middle of it? You know what I mean?
You want to know why? I call it the. I got the Pro Controller. So the Pro Controller just has a little bit longer in the middle, and the sides are shorter.
No.
So it's even more like a penis. But you best believe I tore up in.
Dude,
in
Nintendo
old
was just
school
making us
Smash.
all sus from a very
Does not
early
sound
age.
right.
Oh, you think Nintendo was making us sus? We didn't play with joysticks on arcade machines. You didn't play with a joystick and 2 buttons when you went to the arcade.
Shit. we're all a bit sus.
Personally, I wasn't a Nintendo child. I didn't have a Nintendo console.
Yeah.
I didn't have friends that had Nintendo
But you had a
consoles.
Wii.
No. I would go to my. We had friends that had a Wii,
Mm.
and it was when we got old enough and we were babysitting. They would always like fire up the Wii, and before we watch a movie at night, we would always play like Wii Sports or
Yes,
whatever. And
yeah.
I would just absolutely destroy them at tennis because
The
I had no
easiest
mercy.
game in the whole
It
selection.
really is.
Oh
No,
my
God.
baseball. I could.
Did you
tear
guys
up
know the
baseball.
trick for baseball for pitching? How to pitch a 98 every time?
I literally threw my
You
shoulder
just-
out
you
every
just-
single time.
So-
I was setting heat on that bitch,
I
bro.
went to a kids club at 24 Hour Fitness all the time as a kid because my parents didn't really love me. They went to go work out at home. So what they had there was a Wii, and all the kids would gather around the Wii all the time and play Wii Sports, right? And so I was standing there one day and I'm watching this kid and he's pitching, right? And to this other kid who can't hit the ball. And I'm looking at it every time, 98, 99, 97. I go, what is he doing? And I look at him, and I'm so used to doing like the whole wind up, throw the Wii remote type thing, right? He reaches his hand up and just flicks his wrist. That's all it takes to throw a 98 every time. Combine that with switching between screwball, fastball, and the little ground ball.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Slide.
over. You're unbeatable. I pitch no hitters consistently.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we're gonna let's take the next 2 minutes here to wrap up this list
And then we'll get to our,
and get to our
very
personal
own.
list.
Right.
All right.
So these are 2 sports games.
One of which deserves the spot. One of which does not.
Let's see which one we're all thinking of.
I feel like this might be what's called. I don't
We're
know.
gonna say it
man.
at the same time. One of us is gonna be completely wrong.
Okay, what's called?
3,
2, 1.
Skate
Skate
3.
It belongs there or doesn't?
It belongs there.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I can make the argument for NCAA football 14. I feel like the only reason why this game is on this list is because it was the last release of it, and it was the one college game where I felt like if you weren't a fan of the NFL, like you weren't a fan of the Madden or any of the mechanics, then you turn to this game, which
I
was
think
basically
they
a
should've
lot
kept
more
it going.
simple though too.
I think it's kind of a disservice not to keep it going now that
Yeah.
we're in college.
Well, and especially college football is huge. Like people underestimate how big college football is compared to the actual NFL. Like people watch that shit.
Yeah, and
I don't.
I
but-
don't, but like it's on a lot.
Yeah.
I watch sports religiously.
That being said, though, I don't think NCAA Football 14 is the best sports game at all.
No.
I think that it's not even the best sports franchise.
No.
I think, if anything, NBA or FIFA should be in that spot.
FIFA
Either FIFA 12 or NBA 2K16.
FIFA objectively
2K16.
is a better game, but the problem with FIFA, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but is it's just boring as shit.
No, it is. It's boring. The only way you can enjoy it is if you pay money. But I
Yeah.
blew thousands of dollars on FIFA.
That's unfortunate.
I blew thousands.
And where are you?
I'm
now?
American. I don't play soccer.
And now I buy Pokemon cards. I have still over 1,000 Pokemon packs in my room right now that I have to open.
All right, so we're gonna get into our top 6 or our own Hall of Fame, because when we were talking about this, we were kind of surprised at like why some games made it and why some didn't. Granted that this TikTok account is kind of fairly new. I mean, kind of fairly, like, they've only started doing this Hall of Fame thing for like I think about a hot month and a half. But this is going to be ours. So
Yeah.
we're all going to go.
Let's each take 10 minutes.
Yeah. Or what's up? Do you guys want to take 10 minutes, or do you guys want to like go one by one and you know?
I say we'll just go by genre, go one by one,
Because mine's pretty spread out.
and then we'll just keep an eye on the time.
Yeah. All right.
So,
So,
FPS is first, right?
let's go. Yeah. FES is
You want to
first.
start, Carlos?
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, I want to hear this.
Oh yeah. Okay. So FPS. So here's the thing. Fun fact about me: I got into gaming pretty late in my life. I didn't really grow up gaming, and if I did play games when I was younger, it was not
Operation
FPS.
Uno. Scrabble.
Yeah, actually, I was a pretty good chess player in my prime.
Oh, dude, you gotta play
Fuck
me.
nerds.
You gotta play me. You gotta play me. I'm
Let's go.
excited for that.
Anyway, so FPS. I don't know. It's really hard, but if we're going 6, we're doing 6 for each category.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can even do
Huh?
6.
It was 6 for each category?
Yeah. It said the number in the thing.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I got the ones that all deserve number 1 spots. So,
Oh, okay then. Okay.
So
then.
I will be that guy.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do a few for each, but for FPS, I think I have 5. So for number 5, I'm gonna go Modern Warfare 2, just because
Okay.
it's just quintessential, iconic,
Yeah.
beautiful
Won't
Hans
argue.
Zimmer soundtrack.
Right.
So good.
Amazing.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Why you look? Do you not have it written down somewhere?
Well, I didn't do it like this. I have it listed over all the categories,
Oh.
not for each one.
Okay. Well, then you can just go ahead. And
Okay,
say
so
yours then.
So as far as so in that case, Modern Warfare 2 would be number 6 for me, as far as my number 6 of all time.
Right.
Number 5 is gonna be Spider-Man PS4.
Let's go. Which
one?
is you put that number
That's
5?
campaign, right?
Yeah,
That's fair. Okay.
yeah. As far as a campaign game, it's beautiful.
It was pretty
like-
good.
That is the
It
best
was-
Marvel
it
game
was-
that Marvel has ever put out,
I
or has ever
loved
been a
that.
part of.
I have never sat down and played through a whole game in like that much of a sitting like that.
Yeah.
It's just engaging. The mechanics are such a good riff off of Spider-Man 2 PS2.
Yep.
And it's just, I don't know, it's just such a wholesome experience being a Spider-Man fan.
Yes.
The campaign is
I had to pace myself so I didn't go through it too quickly.
Oh no, no!
Yeah.
I flew by that bitch. That
the
game was
DLCs were
amazing.
great too.
Yes.
I'm hoping that they release some
the Black
more
Cat
though.
one's great because it's so on the nose with the comedy. I love the whole
Yep.
child plot line. It's so good.
It's really funny. It's cool.
If we're going sports, sheesh. I never played a lot of sports games. I mean, I was always partial. I was always sad that they never made like a great MLB game because I was always partial to baseball growing up.
Right.
Yeah.
But NHL games were always fun.
Yeah.
NHL 12-13 was
Okay.
pretty good.
Okay.
I think that was the last one I played. I think 14 was pretty good. But yeah, hockey was always a good one.
Nice.
Platformer. I never played a lot of platformers, but Crash Bandicoot.
That's okay. I agree with that.
Like
that was
the
one of my
OGs
childhood
are
ones.
good, but
Okay,
the
hold up,
Insane
hold up.
trilogy.
They did double down on it.
So I will say this about Crash Bandicoot. I feel like it shouldn't. I get the whole nostalgia thing. I totally get it, and that's fine. Growing up, I hated that game so much.
Really?
That was the most difficult fucking game that I had tried to play or attempt to play. Back when my family had the Sega Dreamcast.
Yes, big up the Dreamcast.
Yes,
Beautiful
and
console.
just in general, like it was just bad. But
it's Crash Bandicoot is one of the games. It's like Dark Souls for kids, but
that's the most accurate fucking thing anyone's ever said about that game. Yes, I would say
Dark
that.
Souls for kids, but it actually hates children. Like it wants to make children suffer and cry.
Oh my god, that's a really good one. That's actually a really good one.
But if you're going to racing, I was a Need for Speed Hot Pursuit PS1 guy.
Okay.
Like,
really,
the OG Need for Speed Hot Pursuit on the PS1 is mint. But
that's fair.
That being said, growing up and growing out of that and getting different consoles, Forza Horizon 3 is probably the best racing game of all time.
See, I've never played the Forza's franchise.
Forza is
probably the most accurate
depiction
of driving in a race car that you'll ever get.
And the mechanics are just absolutely gorgeous. The cars look great. The scenery looks great. Everything about that game is just top notch.
Although I will say that with that game, you have to kind of be a car enthusiast to enjoy that game. Mm-hmm. Or else, you're kind of just mashing buttons and just trying to, Tokyo drift everything that you come across, though, too.
Yeah, that being said, the new Fast and Furious game that came out just recently was one of the biggest disappointments to mankind.
Are you forgetting E.T. on the Atari? Or Superman N64?
No
That's another reason why the N64, in my opinion, sucks.
Yeah.
Aquaman on Xbox?
RPG. I mean, I haven't played many RPGs besides like Fallout and Skyrim, but like, sheesh. Yeah, I mean, I'm more or less just a Skyrim guy. Like,
oh, gotcha.
Yeah, but as far as going through the categories, that would be it. But as far as some other games that I would like to mention, Doom 2016.
Yep, that wholeheartedly.
That is very fair.
God, it just kicks so much ass.
Yep.
There's nothing.
Mick Gordon, shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Mick Gordon.
I love you guys are listing all games I've literally never played, or like games
that's good though too.
Yeah,
you got some variety.
I guarantee you, some of the ones I'm about to list are.
Oh no, my list is definitely like
yeah.
Oh, are you done for this?
Yeah, so we got Doom 2016, and like Doom Eternal is clearly the superior one, but 2016 is just iconic and classic and
personal attachment, right?
And then my number one of all time, Halo 2.
Okay,
I've already talked about it.
Right, Halo 2, beautiful game.
Yes, because I wanted my Halo 2 experience to end on a fucking Arbiter mission. That's the biggest gripe I have. Yeah. That's my biggest gripe with that game.
I didn't mind that much.
I'm just gonna rest it on that. All right. So, Victor, you want to go next?
You know what? I'll go last.
You'll go last?
Yeah, because I'm gonna end on my platformer. And
okay, gotcha. All right. So for my list, I did a rule for myself, like no duplicates and stuff. Even though I agree with most of the things you guys said, I didn't want to do any duplicates. So the first one in my Hall of Fame that I would introduce is Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
Specifically, I want to induct. I think it was 9. This is the one that me and Carlos talked about.
Really?
Yes, because 10 and 11 are great. 10 and 11 are great. Do not get me wrong. And I'm even a fan of when they did when they tried something new. It was Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, which is the best fucking beat 'em up brawler of all time. If you have never played it, but you can't get it fucking anywhere else.
My favorite Easter egg is the Scorpion. Get over here, bitch! Or it is, get the fuck over here! Come here, bitch!
It's the best one. But I will say 9. I will say 9 for the pure fact that it re-energized the series in a way that needed it to.
For modern consoles, yeah.
For modern consoles and competitive fighting game though too. But yeah, so that was one. Also, my next one, which is number 5. Is going to be Pokemon Emerald.
I cannot believe I didn't put that up there. Yes, Pokemon Emerald is one of the best games of all time.
I said this is the best one. I say Emerald beats Ruby, Diamond, Pearl,
Emerald
whatever,
has to be one of the best Pokemon
Gold,
games of all
whatever
time.
the fuck, what's it called? Pokemon Emerald was the most iconic one.
ODST, ABCDEFG.
ODST was gangster.
Yeah, I'm nuzlocking Emerald right
Yeah,
now. Again,
Pokemon Emerald was Pokemon in general should be, which is weird because that list did not have one Pokemon game. But yeah, the next one I want to go and do, which I feel like is a criminally underrated game. Overall, that one that gets overlooked by PlayStation players too, is the Jack and Daxter series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much.
The fact that the
Ratchet and Clank and Jack and Daxter are the most slept on series
Naughty Dog.
ever.
This is one of Naughty Dog's, like, I feel like precious gems, or like an uncut gem, which it shouldn't be
It got
though too.
overshadowed by the realism of Uncharted. Everybody's like, "Ooh, graphics."
Yes, but like
uncut gems.
I'm telling you this right now. The variety of levels and the variety of gameplay that you have in a fucking 2002 platformer title for the PlayStation 2 back in its early days is one of the most criminally underrated games, and it needs its
world
remastered.
building.
Sony, get on your shit now.
Dude, once you get to Jack 2 and Jack 3, the
dude.
lore of that game.
You get invested in
good.
it, like without even really knowing.
Dude, the precursors and all that stuff. Like,
Oh
dude,
yeah,
such
about
a
the
good
sages
setup.
and whatnot. All right, so the next one is going to be this is like one I personally like, and I would definitely induct into mine. It's going to be Metal Gear Solid Revengeance.
The one with the future one.
Yeah, it was the future one. So if anyone doesn't know what the hell this game is, just basically get an anime, hype it up to 1,000 with,
dude,
like,
that
put metal music
soundtrack.
and make the cyborg a ninja. It is amazing. The soundtrack is phenomenal. It gets your heart going, and it's a great hack and slash game. It's like one of those games where if you had a long day at work, or you want a game that's going to challenge you, go ahead and get this game.
Power
Definitely.
fantasy. It's beautiful.
My number two, and it's a shooter I feel like is, again, criminally underrated, and it should be in the Hall of Fame list, is going to be the Gears of War series.
I don't think Gears of War is criminally underrated. I think it's rated just as much as it needs to be.
It's underrated in the sense that you ask them, like, the average person on the street if they played any games. Gears of War is not.
It's like like Warhammer, where it's like, everybody's played D&D, but not many people play Warhammer. Everybody's played like COD, but not many people play Gears of War.
Yeah, Grants. It has its solid fan base. But growing up on an Xbox console and playing through it throughout the years together, there's that nostalgia feeling for mine, and just in general, cover-based shooters I feel like are underrated, and I think Gears of War polished it greatly, with having a very big variety of weapons and a whole variety of campaigns to go along with it too. Multiplayer though was kind of.
They had multiplayer?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They had a multiplayer, and they even have a competitive scene.
I just feel like the way that the game is played, it's really hard to pull off a multiplayer.
I bet.
A game, it's almost like Halo but jacked up, and it's like you take a game like Halo, which in essence the mechanics of that campaign do not fit a multiplayer setting at all, but they made it work.
Mm-hmm.
And Gears of War, I feel like they really need to tune it more. And that's why I never got into it.
Essentially, it's like that would just be like a third-person Rainbow, right? Because you're cover and then like
True. Yeah,
that'd be so weird.
Although even talking about Rainbow, if there's one game I would have an honorable mention, or I would definitely induct on another day, would be Rainbow Six Siege, purely because I feel like that game bridged the worlds between console shooters and into PC, because with that game you have to be accurate as crap. It's almost like playing just a tad bit watered down version of CS:GO.
I stopped playing because it's so intense. Like, you have to actually want to play consistently. It's not like Overwatch where you can jump on, you're like, ooh, I feel like relaxing today. So if you hop on Rainbow, you have to be willing to kill.
I will say this, and I might get a lot of hate for this, but Siege has the worst community of gamers in my opinion.
Yeah. They're
It's
awful.
the most toxic community.
Yeah.
And this is coming from people that I know who have competed competitively.
We play competitive gaming, and even then, Rainbow.
Yeah, like Rainbow's the top
worse.
notch. So I'll get to my last one, and I feel like this game, if you're an avid gamer and you love campaigns and you love getting invested like you would a TV show, then my pick would definitely interest you. And I feel like my number one pick for my Hall of Fame will be Telltale's The Walking Dead Part 1.
Ooh, I knew you were going to say that.
This game was my very first Telltale game, and I never got invested into like I guess my what if scenarios. We will have those scenarios like, oh, what would you do if something like this happened? Like making those quick decisions, and also just at the same time just telling a really compelling story, and just having to deal with the morality of your decisions, the consequences of your decisions though too, and just in general, it felt like a first person. It felt like a experience that you went through yourself.
Hell yeah.
You know.
Do you guys remember like playing Telltale's Walking Dead? If you guys had it, like, the first time, like
I've never finished it.
But like, have you watched people?
Oh yeah, I've watched it. Yeah,
we're going through it again. Me and my girlfriend. I'm having her play it for the first time. We just finished episode 1. She oh man, she's hooked on these. So now we're doing Life is Strange, Detroit Become Human, all those.
Another good one is Batman. If you haven't,
Batman's Telltale's really good.
I just need to sit down. I just need to really just sit down and just play the first one. I play the second. I play the second one over thing, but it's great. So that's my Hall of Fame list. But yeah, I really feel like those games are underrated.
I forgot one honorable mention, and that was BioShock.
Oh, fantastic!
I haven't even played it. And I know. Did you hear?
Really?
Hold on. Okay, so Half-Life Alyx, you know the AAA VR game. Somebody modded Half-Life Alyx to recreate BioShock entirely.
Oh yeah, I saw that, dude.
I am so excited to play that because I've never played BioShock.
Everyone.
So I'm gonna try to do a video where I experience BioShock entirely in VR for the first time.
I want to try that too.
Infinite is just like all the BioShocks are great. But BioShock Infinite
looks so beautiful.
It does. Like I don't know how
even
this game is, but it looks so good. And
it's a very well polished. Really, what's called? I think the lore behind that game is just interesting as shit.
And the themes in that game of following
blindly into your government and government becoming God and stuff. The whole theme about that game is fantastic.
Yeah. And then Elizabeth. Waifu.
Right.
Shut up.
Simpinator has finally
entered the chat.
we have the word of God. Silly Soul has written me back and she says, I used to play Skylanders, but then some kid I was babysitting broke my disc in half.
That kid did her
good. That kid's a hero because you played real fucking games, silly.
Right. Now she's on the Overwatch team.
Yeah.
All right, victory.
All right. Now, I know I'm an expert at making people wait because my mind is something special. I will guarantee you that not a single one of these games... We brought up one of these games, and that is it today.
Okay, then.
Oh, shit.
All right.
All right. So the FPS, I think, deserves Hall of Fame status. Not just Hall of Fame status. All of these are the top spots in their respective genres.
Oh, this is ballsy, dude.
I am Victory, so I only do things in the winning spots. Right?
Okay.
So for FPS...
It's only Grandmaster from here on out.
It's the Nintendo 64 classic, GoldenEye 007.
Yeah.
No! No. Let's go. I get the. I played it too. I get the nostalgia. I disagree with you wholeheartedly for the sole sake that if you put that game on any other fucking controller, that sucks. That game.
It was a masterpiece for its console.
It was a masterpiece for its time. I'll say that. I'll leave it at that.
It was the first shooter I ever played as a kid.
Have you seen the remasters that
someone
did? Someone did their own remaster of it, and it kicks out.
Does it have the cheat codes in it?
I think so.
It better. Because, dude, I missed
GoldenEye in 64 just revolutionized FPS in general.
That was the first game you could speedrun, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was... It's just I still have the cartridge. It was one of the only off-colored cartridges I had besides Legend of Zelda.
My friend has the actual the gold
I have its gold, and then I have I only had 3 different color N64 cartridges, and then Zelda, GoldenEye, and Donkey Kong 64.
That was
which was also a nice game.
Good. Funny.
And then for my campaign, I can't believe we didn't bring any of these games up.
Okay.
Is Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Oh, damn. No, what do you mean? What? Get out of the chat, bro.
That is
out of pocket.
One of the greatest games of all time, especially the best Assassin's Creed to this day, has one of the greatest ending sequences ever. The last 30-minute stretch of that game is so well done that it was so... I cried even the second time playing through it. It was phenomenal.
Assassin's Creed is...
I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, it's this
I like it.
Where every other game could just be so utterly boring, and you're like, "Why am I playing this?" But then something like
we're looking at you, Assassin's Creed 1.
Yeah, and then there's something like Black Flag that comes along, and you're like, "This is
why I play Assassin's Creed."
This is entertainment.
But I feel like with Ubisoft, it's like, okay, if we make 8 games, one of them has got to be good.
Hey, but
then we got Watch Dogs up in the house.
I love Watch Dogs.
Oh, Watch Dogs is awesome.
great.
I love that. Watch Dogs 2, shout out to the Bay Area.
Watch Dogs
Now,
2
what about
beautiful. I
Watch
haven't tried
Dogs?
3 yet. Watch Dogs.
Shut up.
Okay.
Watch Dogs.
For sports, the number one sports game of the last 20 years, or as long as I've been alive, is FIFA 12.
Yeah.
FIFA 12
I remember that going around.
has
Yep.
star appeal like no other. It is the last FIFA game to be good and to be good mechanically before they started just making the same game and updating the graphics.
Yeah.
Ooh, the grass is nicer this year. But FIFA 12
You can
was a
see it's
beautiful,
soggy.
beautiful- Yeah. Look, it rains and it gets wet. Your kit gets wet. How amazing is that?
Ronaldo can slip on the grass.
Right?
Look, Ronaldo will flop on command now.
Yeah. No, man, but as someone who's like always loved soccer, it's been like my favorite sport to play. Oddly enough, it's not my favorite sport to watch by any means, but I love betting on it. It's just been a fun game.
Spoken like a true Brazilian. They're right.
You are going to Brazil.
I only ever bet on the EPL though, so it's like
I don't know what
English Premier League. So it's like
Manchester United, baby.
Man United. Let's go,
sir.
For RPG, arguably, now this one is one that I could argue some RPGs are on its level. But if they were to remaster this RPG, it would kill. And that's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Ooh, that's a really good pick. That did
Yeah.
come out of left field, but that's a
If you
really good
remaster
fucking
Knights of the Old
pick.
Republic, you will kill today.
Although I will say this, if there's a Star Wars game that needs to be remade immediately, Star Wars Republic Commando.
Real? I
Has-
don't know what that is.
So think of Rainbow Six Siege, but with Star Wars and clones. Yeah, it is. What's it called? It's a really old game. It came out on the original Xbox, and it's a fantastic. It's not a fantastic game by any means, but it is difficult as shit. It's the Dark Souls of Star Wars.
Because like what all I'm thinking, right?
you mean Battlefront 2?
Which
With,
one?
The new one.
Oh yeah, no, we don't talk about the new one.
The thing with Knights of the Old Republic is now that because they have the bounty hunter races that you've always been able to play. Now that we've fleshed out the world so much and like Mandalorians dipped into that and all that, we have so much more to work with. It would be the quintessential Star Wars game. It's
You
so
just gotta
smart.
imagine that has to take at least a really big team of developers.
Think about it though. No, you
But,
just take the old Republic, you flip it into a new engine, right? Obviously, if you can, there's just whatever engine it was running on before definitely has an equivalent nowadays that you could boot up to.
Yeah.
And then you're starting with a base. So
You know,
it wouldn't
it's
take
easy.
long.
Just remake it.
Yeah.
Just come
Yeah,
on, guys.
Ubisoft and
just
Sony,
do
and all
it
you
in a
big
year.
ass fucking publishers out there, just remake your fucking games.
Do it. Do your job.
Right,
We're
God.
paying you this money.
I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely wanted to be a game designer as a kid. And
Same
then I
here,
looked into it and
same
I was like, that's boring.
Did you have a company that you want to work for in the like?
Yeah, I wanted to work for Ubisoft Montreal, actually.
I wanted to work for Midway Games.
Really?
Yeah. Then they shut their doors.
Ooh.
There is actually a game studio. I don't know how public knowledge this is, but there's a game studio that is currently in the process of opening up in Vegas. COVID stopped them a little bit, but they're opening up in Las Vegas. And
Very
I don't know
nice.
what they're going to start making, but I'm very hopeful.
Well, you want to know what's funny? Funny story about developers. So, my neighbor had a nephew that came over for dinner one time, and we would always go over to their house, and so he was like, oh, you should come over and meet my nephew. And we're like, okay. We met this guy, and we just got to talking, and my brother and I, we were a little younger. I think I was like 16 or so, and this guy was telling us, he's like, hey, do you guys play video games? And we're like, yeah, kind of. And he's like, cool, because like me and this team of guys were like trying to get this game off the ground, and it's going to be the first infinite space exploration game.
Oh, no.
And we're like,
Oh, no.
wait, what? And he's telling us about it, and he's like, we created this algorithm that lets you
No.
travel to any
I-
planet you want.
This
And
just sounds
what you
This is
bad.
the
do-
game that I hate. I know what game this
and
is.
he says, and what you do is the whole objective is to farm enough resources to create your own civilization while also trying to not get killed by the creatures on every planet.
Carlos, what is the name of that game?
Is it what I think it is?
The name of that game is No Man's Sky.
No! You're joking!
Mind you, this was
What?
like 5 years before
Was he the guy that made it flop in the beginning?
Dude,
I don't know.
was so pissed off at that game when it came
Oh
out. I
my
was so
god, dude, that was
excited.
hilarious to see it flop from the outside
Yeah.
in.
I feel so bad for them because they put so much work into it. You can tell they're passionate about it, but there was just nothing going for them. And
Back
luckily,
then.
the new patches for the game, the new updates have been really good. But the thing is, now it's just being outshined by games like the Outer Worlds.
I won't
The
lie to
Outer
you,
Worlds is
they pulled it back just now.
Yeah.
They,
Well, No
they
Man's Sky
actually
they
just
did
pulled
now.
it back with the Pets update.
Yeah.
And VR is killing it right
But I feel like Outer Worlds was what No Man's Sky was supposed to be.
Really?
I really do think so because of how hard that game fucking flopped.
Well, it's a story
at
game,
launch.
isn't it?
Yeah, but there was nothing that. It was
Not really. There's
Well,
not...
Outer Worlds or Outer Wilds?
Oh wait, I thought you meant No Man's Sky.
you know, I'm talking about No Man's Sky.
Oh, no, No Man's Sky's not a story game, but I love it just for relaxation. I feel like, whereas Outer Wilds or Outer Worlds?
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds.
The RPG?
Yes, the one where
I
like,
feel like
yeah.
that's a spiritual successor to Fallout or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really
More or
connected to
less.
No Man's Sky, because it's more shooty, like, RPG.
Yes, but
Yeah.
it has that same idea
It's
of
like a D&D kind of
exploration.
thing.
Yeah, like it has the same idea of
The Outer
exploration in
Wilds.
space.
Talked to my friend Colby about the Outer Wilds.
It's a really good game.
I haven't personally played it, but I need to. But the music in that game is.
I
just
recorded
gorgeous.
myself playing it. It is a phenomenal experience. It is a very emotional experience, and it's not that long.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's else?
I have one final
Ooh,
Lit
this is
more
gonna
Dropping
be,
the A bomb here.
oh shit.
for platformer. The number one platformer of all time. Top spot of the Hall of Fame. Epic Mickey's The Power of Two.
No, what? No,
the
God,
Nintendo
no,
Wii.
I'm mad now. Why the hell are you going with the Disney title?
This is without a doubt
Explain,
one of the
monkey.
best platformers that has ever been created. The ability to use your paintbrush and your thinner to create your platforms. You got to search out your little hidden artifacts with this paintbrush and this thinner. It creates a whole new. It integrated the Wii's system so well into making a game, and it also brought Oswald back into the fray, so he was finally a character they could use again in the IP because nobody knew who he was beforehand.
I didn't know what the fuck. I was
It's
like,
such a
who's Mickey and
phenomenal
the Great Value brother that's next to him?
Here's the thing with that game, and it gets overlooked because it is a Disney title. I feel like it's a game that was made not to be a Disney game. Like, I feel like the original concept of it was meant to be something completely original, and then Disney probably just bought it. I don't know the story behind it, but that's just what it seems, because it seems like a real independent style, to create a game. It's never something Disney Interactive
It's very
would want to do.
Toontown similar, where it feels like they just slapped a Disney skin on.
I will
Yeah.
say this: if there's one thing I do have, I haven't played it. If there's one thing I have recognized about that game, when you bring up a list of Wii titles, that game is in the top.
It
ones.
is a really good story. I like it genuinely. I was originally thinking about adding it as a joke, and then I really sat there and thought about it, and I was like, I think I played this game on the Wii the most.
Gotcha. Yeah. Just overall, the Wii in general is just. Although I will say this about the Wii should not have had a Call of Duty or any shooter franchise on them. Does anyone else remember just holding up their
Absolutely,
fucking
yeah.
their
I
arms
played
and
a
getting
Tom Clancy
dead?
game on the Wii, and I was like, "This is dumb."
That's why you had to.
It's like Duck Hunt.
Yeah, it was a cash grab. Yeah, and then adapter your
little
your
plastic,
your
yeah.
arm. It doesn't solve the
Have you seen
problem.
those things for your phone for for Call of Duty
Yeah,
Mobile and
the little
and
controllers.
PUBG, and it's like a gun. You put your phone on the gun.
It plugs the gun into your controller. You get a trigger and a joystick.
It's great.
That's
okay,
awesome. Yeah.
welcome to another PUBG Mobile.
Oh my god.
PUBG. Here's the thing, real quick about PUBG. PUBG is a soft spot in my heart because it's not a bad game. It's just
Didn't they just stop supporting it?
they just kind of gave up.
Yeah.
But PUBG Mobile slaps.
Yeah.
PUBG and COD Mobile, they nailed. Like, because here's the thing with mobile gaming, is like we were talking about Clash of Clans, and it's like mobile gaming has always been known like it's just a never to be taken seriously, just a thing you want to have fun. Yeah, you could say COD Mobile is about the microtransactions, but there's a lot you can do in that game that's just easy progression
Yeah.
to pimp your customization and your loadout out.
Tip your custom.
It's great, but let's take these last 10 minutes and let's and let's each list our personal number one game of all time, not the one for the Hall of Fame, just the one that we love the most.
Easy, without a doubt. Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. It's a phenomenal game. The Ratchet and Clank is a franchise, so beautiful, and it's my childhood, so I'm gonna be biased of course. But as far as like third-person shooter platformers, or it was a phenomenal game all the way through. Great story, great characters, hilarious dialogue. I still love it. I would go back and play it again to this day. It's amazing.
I would have to say mine. It will be Jack 3.
That's very fair.
Jack 3 combined everything I loved about Call of Duty and Magic the Gathering into one game and made it into a platformer. So that was great.
Mm-hmm. I may get a lot of hate for this just because it's a tie for me, but they are 2 licensed games, so I may get hate for this. But I'll go first. First in the tie would be Deadpool for the Xbox 360.
Ooh, okay.
That's an interesting pick.
That's a good pull.
That game's hard as
That's
shit.
a good game, though.
It is so hard, but I love it.
It doesn't look like it either, too, which pisses me off, because I have it on Xbox One right now.
It takes everything you'd want from every kind of game franchise. It's a platformer, it's an RPG, it's a strategy game, and it's an FPS.
and it's a Marvel game.
And it's a Marvel game, and it's Deadpool. So and it works because it'll just jump between different genres of being it turns into a horror game for one of the levels, and it's like
I have to really go back and download this game again.
It's so cool, and each experience is different because each bit of dialogue is going to be different in each playthrough, except for some cutscenes. And they just the movies are great. It just completely nailed the essence of Deadpool from the comics, and they nailed every aspect of turning what you would want from Deadpool in a game to actually doing it. And it's one of the first games I ever completed 100% on every difficulty.
Damn.
Because it's just each experience is so new. But number 1 all time, Spider-Man 1 for the PS1.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to back it up for you right there, bud.
Yeah. Here's the thing, and it is a nostalgia thing.
Spider-Man 1 for the PS1,
not the movie, the PS1 Spider-Man.
Oh, you mean the Ultimate Spider-Man? Well, not the Ultimate Spider-Man, not the game Ultimate Spider-Man that was on the GameCube and Xbox. But... This one.
Yes,
gotcha. Yes, that had one of
those. Not the movie tie-in.
I was gonna say the movie tie-in one was like.
Sorry, I didn't mean Spider-Man 1. I meant Spider-Man PS1 because now they've classified it.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 for the PS2 is now just Spider-Man PS2 because it's just quintessential.
Well, and then Spider-Man 3 came out on the PS2.
No, PS3.
Yes. No, really?
Spider-Man 3 was made for the PS3. It was the console launch game, I believe. Because if you look, even the PlayStation 3 font for the logo was the Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, it was that. Oh,
yeah. So it was.
Dude, I just learned something new that changed my life right now.
But then Spider-Man 3 ended up being a shitty game.
I liked it. It had the funny narrator at the beginning. And then I'm gonna die.
What's it called? I forgot his fucking name. He's on Burt Notice. No, the guy. What's it called? It's the narrator for the Spider-Man 2 with Spider-Man PS2. Games. I don't know what's it. It's the dude from Ash vs. the Evil Dead.
Oh,
it's Ash.
Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
That's right. He does narrate PS2. Yep. But yeah, PS1 Spider-Man is the one. It's narrated by Stan Lee. They completely nailed this kind of goofy comic book essence, and it wasn't an open world, but it was a sandbox in the sense that it gave you this tiny open world to play around in. And each level is exactly the same. There's no difference in level mechanics, but it's still fun. And it's just the final boss of Carnage Doc Ock is literally the scariest shit you will
Nightmare
ever.
Fuel.
Literally.
I remember that.
It was one of those games where when I was too young to play it, I would have my brother finish it for me. I'd be like, hey Kyle, it's the final level, can you do it? And he'd be like, yeah. And it'd take him 8 tries, and then when you actually did it, it was so satisfying to get that cutscene. But yeah, it's up there for me.
That's awesome. No, and overall, we wanted to make this podcast just, again, to have a platform where we can talk about our passion, nerdy, not desires, because that's the wrong word, but our passions when it comes to video games and pop culture in general. So we want to thank everyone who's listening right now, and to, if you guys got something you guys want us to talk about, shoot us up on our social medias.
Right. We're going to take this next few seconds to do a quick plug around the table. We'll go ahead and start with UTAJ if there's anything you want to plug, and then we'll move.
I think the only thing I want to plug is that with this podcast, we're talking about many different things. I know with the three of us, or sometimes it'll just be the two of us with an added guest. We'll be talking about just overall geeky stuff.
Movies is next. Movies is next.
Oh yeah, what's our next episode's gonna be about anime and movies and superheroes.
I thought anime was third.
Was it third? We gotta check back, but yeah. Our second episode will be about
Monkey versus Lizard.
Yeah, so what's it called? It's gonna be superhero movies just in general.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
And why Zack Snyder's Justice League is a waste of time.
Yep, there's that one too. And then watch for some what's it called? I don't want to be able to do a sports one where I talk because I'm the only sporty one. But I'm the only one that talks about sports.
No,
so
I can hang a conversation.
Okay, there we go. What's gonna have my coworker or my cohort with me?
I'll talk about hockey or baseball.
Hit me up on Instagram, TJTEJAY. _54, maybe that's it. I don't know. I can't remember. But
it'll be in the description of the podcast on all platforms. All right. What about you, Carlos? You got a lot to plug, huh?
Oh,
he's got a lot of things going on, ladies and gentlemen.
Go for it.
Just go ahead. Follow my Instagram. It's intentional_lens_flare. And you can follow my Twitter at Carl Plumboy. That is my professional Twitter. Y'all don't get access to the personal one.
That's for the memes.
It's for the memes.
Also, on the business side of things.
Oh yeah, on the business side of things, I have a production company back in California. So it's at Super Image Ltd, all one word. You can see all of our my brother and I, Kyle. We have a production company where we're making films right now. We're trying to promote our first feature. And yeah, that's about it on my end.
It's beautiful.
Also, if you guys haven't, what's it called? I guess if you want to plug in Sarah too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, at Sarah Film. It's our name of our film.
Beautiful film. I ordered a Blu-ray, so I'm expecting that whenever that comes.
I'm still expecting it. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. And then, of course, my voice most likely very familiar on this podcast because you're watching this on my channel for the video format. I am Victory at YouTube, Twitch, and all forms of social media at VictoryTGH. And, of course, for all three of us, don't forget to come check out DSU Esports Overwatch Team, where we will be playing scrims on Sundays every now and then.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
But thank you once again for waking up with us in the Morning Madness podcast. And we will see you next morning. Peace.
See ya.